Thank you. Right, so this is the future of television, future of broadcasting, and as Vijay said, we have a very distinguished panel. We've got a wide range of subjects that we were given to discuss. I think many more than we could cover in the next hour, which is between us and Herrera. But we'll try and cover as many as we can. I was going to, well, this is why we need rehearsals, well, before we did introductions, just say, I want to know from the audience, first of all, before we'll have questions at the end, but I want to know from you what particular subjects you want to cover. So, since you've had no time to think on your feet or on your seats while the introductions went on, we'll kick off and then I'll come back in 5 minutes and just, not questions, but just are there any subjects that we really, you would walk away disappointed, you don't want you to be disappointed, so anything that you would really like us to cover. So when we emailed around and discussed what sort of subjects we thought we might like to cover, one of the things that came up was conversion from standard to high definition. Obviously something that's been going on for a while, but not something that everyone has done. So we'll kick off with that as a subject. Dr. Riyad, I'll start with you. So Dr. Riyad, you're the head of the HDTV Arab group, correct? And Hassan is also on the group. So can I ask you, Dr. Riyad, what are the challenges? I mean, here most of the big players have converted to HD. So what's the pan-Arab outlook, if you like, and about converting from to HD?
Thank you very much. Well, actually, the HD Arab group was created about 3 or 4 years ago, if I recall. And the objectives of the group was to make a general roadmap, so to speak, how to migrate from SD to HD in the Arab world. And mainly it was mainly focused on the public broadcasters and small broadcasters who are not really aware of what they have to do in order to convert. And there was a notion at that time that HD TV is a luxury, and we don't need to think about it now. We'll have to just let it go until it comes back, and then we'll deal with it. And the objective of it was that you have to build yourself from the beginning or from now to be ready when you decide to go and transmit high definition. So the group has already prepared the roadmap for Arab broadcasters, how to go from SD to HD, some general recommendations. And it has also adopted specific technical systems to make it easier for the different broadcasters to adopt high definition when they decide to do that. That is both in the production side and on the side of the transmission. Now, most public broadcasters in the Arab world still do not transmit high definition. Or even if they do it partially or only part of their channels. And this is largely to do with the infrastructure within the studios that it is probably not ready to go with full-fledged high definition. Well, of course, we are aware that high definition requires bigger bandwidth, but probably that's not really the biggest issue. The biggest issue is to migrate within the studio from standard definition to high definition. And more specifically, if we want to go into a little bit of details, it's the conversion of the aspect ratio really what's creating some problems with conventional broadcasters now to convert from 4:3 to 16:9. Even in like now we have mixed environments. For example, in Saudi television, we do have some facilities that are high definition and some that are standard definition. And the most difficult part that we have to deal every day with is in this transition period where we have to live with the two different aspect ratios and asking all the operators and the different people in the chain to adapt to what is the best outlook for the outcome of the picture of for the viewer. So this is really what we are doing. This has, of course, recently, for example, if I want to give an example of Saudi television, has been very clear when we just launched 2 months ago, the Saudi League, this call it the Premier League or just the Saudi League now. It is under Saudi television, and we launched 6 channels for the Saudi League. 2 of them are the existing sports channels, and 4 more that have been launched also for the league. All the 6 we are supposed to transmit both of them, both in high definition and the standard definition. And we did have some difficulties that we are trying to overcome, but one of the most difficult parts is to deal with the aspect ratio, and also with the recording of the matches and different signals, because you see people if they are living in or working in an SD environment, they forget to record in high definition because they know that the final product is going standard definition. So then they don't record in high definition, or even if they do, they don't have sometimes the editing facilities. So they just end up with having a standard definition copy of the material, and later on in the future, if they want to, when they decide to go to high definition, they'll have to upconvert, which is not ideal. Thank you.
So the standards very important part. When we discussed this issue by email, I think Mark, you made a comment about converging without compromising or weakening the HD proposition. Does that imply that you think some people have done that, or?
No, it's not. It's a comment on, you've got to keep standard high to give the customer that difference between the two. But just go back to your point about the aspect ratio. If you look at the roadmap we went through in our conversion, we started probably 4 years ago by going SD 16:9 on our key channels, which meant it softened the effect of then going HD. And then our run up to launching the HD channels, we started ordering all the content in HD only, probably 18 months ahead of that first HD launch. So we built up the archive, we built up the content. So when we did make the switch, we could offer full 1080i content from the very start.
So I'll throw this open to anyone. I mean, are there? Is this conversion is it a no? It's something we should be worried about. I mean, we're trying to look to the future here. So we've been converted from standard to high definition for a few years now. Is it a known quantity? Should it be? Is it something that we can sort of tick the box and say, yep, we know how to do that? Or what are the challenges still going forward?
I think one of the points Mark mentioned is about building the library. It's not about only equipping, having the studios and transmission in HD. A channel has a number of hours of content per day. So you have to build the library 2 years in advance at least for you to have proper content, not to be needing to upconvert, which is fake HD. So I think one of the key things is to produce an HD first and acquire an HD, and building, if you are a producer, not only aggregator of content. And then that will help building a proper quality for the channel. It's not having 2 hours per day of HD and the rest is upconverted. I don't think this is the right thing to do.
I'll now go back to what I was mentioning at the beginning. So apart from the other subjects that we've got on our list, is there anything that from the audience here that you really want us to cover? Just not questions to the panel yet, we'll have that at the end, but just topics. Meld them out, we'll come to you. Yeah.
I believe most of broadcasters in the Middle East now, when they are going to migrate from standard definition to high definition, they will take into consideration that which format you have to select. It's 1080i or 50, 1080i 50 or other formats. But they ignore other main challenge which will face it when you are migrate to HD. I think now we have to open one main subject with the out of sync If there's two things here. We have the rotation of one of the rotation for the viewers is the loudness between programs and commercial breaks. And between TV programs and TV channels. The others is the output, the synchronization between picture and audio. The first one, the loudness, I think the suppliers, they have now solution for fixing this problem. And most of the broadcasters now they are installing in their facility this product. But for the out of sync, I believe there is no solution now so far to fix this problem because the HD infrastructure will be, I'm sure there will be out of sync problem everywhere coming from LCD or plasma or from transmitter or from codecs. This one I think we have to discuss together to share our information.
Okay, thanks. So synchronization, loudness. Yes.
Just kind of moving on from what Omran was saying there. I think just audio in general is a topic which I think would be useful to work through. Multi-channel audio and just in general the quality of audio. We all broadcasters spend a lot of money on moving to HD and things, but I think sometimes we haven't quite got there on the audio, the stereo and mono in some cases. Okay, right. Okay, yes, middle there. Just quick ones.
Actually, my comment is...
It's on.
my comment is when you migrate to HD, we always talk about hardware, putting new hardware for HD. But as mentioned earlier by two gentlemen here, that we want to migrate our productions, so to produce HD. When we want to put the studio in HD format, there's so many factors for education for people in HD. Production, set design, people to understand what is HD. So this is, we overlook this even, especially in the Middle East here, or there's no education. We are working now for the last 3 years to put HD hardware in the system, but so far we haven't seen any education training for people, cameramen, lighting, producers. This is very important because people don't miss the concept of HD. They think it's only a format. It's not a format. It's a new way to look at things.
Okay, great. Okay, cool. One more.
All these points, looking at quality of picture and sound and so forth, and of course HD is pretty much a done deal in the developed television markets. But the Middle East and the GCC in particular is special because the bandwidth, the broadband availability is likely to overtake developed markets quite soon. There aren't any representatives of telcos on this panel. As broadcast representatives and entities, governmental entities, what do you see the role of internet bandwidth on demand is for you as organisations? How are you responding to that challenge?
Okay, great. Okay, we'll get to all that. So let's start with the HD, the gentleman raised about the chain. Nick, can I say that to you? Because you do web production, so how do you cope with that?
Well, we had a fairly short timescale when we moved into HD, and picking up on I think what Hassan was saying, one of our big challenges was actually getting content from American studios in time. We didn't have an opportunity to build our archive, so we had to ramp that up fairly quickly over the sort of 3-4 months of the project going on. But one thing we quickly realised when we first started talking about doing this HD project was our production had to follow us. So in the very, very first stages of the project, we started upgrading our production facilities. So, for example, during Ramadan, we had some top Arabic dramas and comedies that were filmed and produced in HD. And now we have a very healthy back catalogue of that, and all of our future productions are in HD now.
What's the picture like in terms of elsewhere? Because I mean, a lot of production is done in Egypt. What's the general production picture like in terms of the facilities?